we have seen their kind before. They are the heirs of all the murderous ideologies of the 20th century.
Yes, these men that hypnotize followers follow the force.
Behind them is a cult of evil, which seeks to harm the innocent and thrives on human suffering.
It was posted 1 week ago. Already, it's an online must-see. Canton police officer Daniel Harless berating a driver who appears to be trying to show Harless his concealed carry license so that Harless would know he was armed.
I'm so close to caving in your head.
But now comes a second video.
I'll kill every one of you, mother.
This one from a year ago.
No, I'm telling you what. I will shoot you in the face and I'll go to sleep tonight.
Theirs is the worst kind of cruelty. The cruelty that is fed, not weakened, by tears. Theirs is the worst kind of violence.
Thomas was tased at least 6 times, hogtied and beaten by several police officers, ultimately putting him in a coma.
I'm charging Officer Manuel Ramos with second-degree murder.
By sacrificing human life to serve their radical visions. They stand against us because we stand in their way.
Was this punishment for a baseball fan's smart aleck remark to police officers on the eve of the G20 summit? Sean Salvati, the man shown naked in police custody, says yes, it was.
To a college student in Tarpon Springs.
What the Tarpon Springs police did was wrong.
To a homeowner in New York.
You're not listening to our orders right now.
Even a news photographer.
Put it down. Put it down.
All arrested for simply videotaping police on duty. Only problem? It's not illegal. A U.S. Court of Appeals in Boston has now confirmed that with a ruling saying filming cops in a public place is your choice, protected by the First Amendment.
Freedom and fear are at war.
Excuse me, sir, you're getting very close to me. I don't like that.
Yeah, good. Give me your license registration insurance card.
Am I under arrest?
Did I say that?
No. Am I legally required to do that?
Yeah, if I ask you for it.
I don't know if that's true, sir. Can you show me that law? You're getting very aggressive with me, sir. I don't like that at all.
The advance of human freedom, the great achievement of our time and the great hope of every time, now depends on us. This generation will lift a dark thread of violence from our people and our future.
No, I'm telling you what. I will shoot you in the face and I'll go to sleep tonight.
Every nation in every region now has a decision to make. Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
A community is low on a respect scale if common courtesy is withheld from large groups of people on account of their political attitudes.
This weekend, a few troublemakers turned a peaceful protest against Wall Street greed into a violent burst of chaos. The troublemakers carried pepper spray and guns and were wearing badges. This is just a story of a few cops being tougher than they had to be. And yeah, technically breaking some laws. And cops know they can always get away with that. American police know that no mayor and no police chief is ever going to call them on just being what they think of as a little too tough. Every day in America, police are too tough. Every day in America, police cross the line and abuse citizens. Every day in America, police get away with that. White America was shocked at what they saw police doing to Rodney King. Black America would have loved to have been shocked by what they saw police do to Rodney King, but Black America only could have been shocked if what the police did to Rodney King was something completely alien to their community experience, was something they couldn't imagine the police doing in their community. There's a Rodney King every day in this country, and Black America has always known that. They know just how much assault and battery their department will let them commit. They know just how many false arrests their department will let them do. They know just how much latitude their department gives them on abusing citizens. They do it because they know they can. They do it because they know they will get away with it. None of them will be charged with the assaults and batteries that they committed. None of them. will be charged with the false arrests. None of them will lose a day's pay.
In my opinion, I think what has happened here is, you know, the American people tend to not really pay all that much attention to our government unless our government really overreaches its bounds. And so for years and years and years, the federal government has continued to step more and more into areas where they don't belong. They've reached their dirty little fingers into areas where they don't belong. But what they've done to the American people is they've done it, or they've served it to the American people a thimbleful at a time. They've given it to them a little bit more and a little bit more. And it looks like maybe when served a thimbleful at a time, the American people are a lot more likely to go ahead and receive it or swallow it, so to speak. What they've done is they've decided to go ahead and just really, instead of trying to serve up their encroachments a thimbleful at a time, they're trying to serve it to the American people in 5-gallon buckets. Well, when the federal government oversteps its bounds in 5-gallon buckets, the American people wake up.
I want a police officer. I think she left me. I want a police officer now! Now! I want a police officer! You just molested me! For God's sake, somebody help me!
It happened at Armstrong International Airport in New Orleans. 6-year-old Anna Drexel is patted down by a TSA agent. The gloved agent explaining what she's doing at each step. Patting down her sides, her waistband, and bottom.
And then the sensitive area was touching the back of my hand.
Afterwards, her mother says little Anna cried, wondering what she'd done wrong.
TSA is investigating this video of a 3-year-old boy in a wheelchair being patted down at airport security. The boy was wearing a leg cast. He was being examined at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. We don't know when this happened, but the video was uploaded this weekend. The video seems to be shot by the boy's father.
More complaints of absurd pat-downs by the TSA. This time the air traveler isn't a kid, but an elderly woman who was forced to remove her adult diaper. A Florida woman says security agents asked her 95-year-old mother, who is in a wheelchair, to remove her diaper so they could complete a full search.
Well, the TSA is under fire tonight after an agent at the Lihue airport told a breastfeeding mother she could not board a flight to Maui with her breast pump until it was filled with milk.
The TSA agent ordered her to fill her breast pump with milk in order to get through security with the equipment. The high school vice principal was forced to pump her breasts in a busy public restroom at the Lihue airport.
Tonight we're hearing about another security pat-down horror story at Charlotte Douglas International Airport. This time it's from a local flight attendant and cancer survivor who says she was forced to show her prosthetic breasts during a pat-down. Her story is part of a growing backlash against intrusive new security measures at our nation's airports, and her story is also all new tonight at 11 o'clock.
If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and, well, it probably is a duck. But that is not the case for some House GOP members when it comes to TSA officers. Outraged over recent strip searches of the elderly and pat-downs of toddlers, they are backing a bill that would ban TSA officers from using the title officer, wearing a badge, or wearing uniforms resembling those of police officers. It's called the Stop TSA's Reach and Policy Act, or the Strip Act.
They are not officers. They are not federal law enforcement officers. They do not get any federal law enforcement officer training. They are not eligible for those benefits. And even though they have gone to wearing these uniforms, which they did this through administrative rulemaking, not through coming to Congress, they wear the uniforms, they wear the badge. We still have had over 25,000 breaches. And what we are saying is, look, these are screeners. You have reclassified their job title to say officers. You did that administratively. They should go back to being screeners and focus on protecting the flying public, not to overreaching their authority because they're wearing a law enforcement uniform and a badge. They advertise for screeners on pizza boxes and at discount gas stations in the Washington, D.C. area.
Right.
They do not have to go through this law enforcement training. Maybe they should stop impersonating federal law enforcement officers and stop the overreach.
It was this past Sunday night here at LAX about 7:30. Probably crowded because a lot of people were coming home from the New Year's holiday, when suddenly a man starts acting strangely. He starts saying, "I'm God, I'm in charge." LAX police and arrest that man, and he turns out to be a TSA agent. They are the first line of defense in airport security, Transportation Security Administration agents. But there have been 2 troubling incidents involving LAX TSA agents recently. A source tells Channel 4 News a TSA agent was arrested on January 3rd here at Terminal 1 at LAX. He'd just gotten off duty and was behaving erratically, saying, "I am God, I'm in charge." The agent was arrested under the welfare code and could have been hospitalized in protective custody for up to 72 hours. Meanwhile, a TSA internal affairs investigation turned up evidence of LAX TSA agents using drugs at an after-hours party.
The investigation turned on a bungled drug shipment that led to an arrest and information that TSA screeners were taking bribes to let parcels of cocaine, meth, and marijuana through security.
The 43-year-old TSA agent pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud the United States for using her unique role as a behavior detection officer to escort a local drug dealer as he carried a large amount of cash through security at Buffalo Niagara International Airport.
What? Not again? Oh yeah, again. TSA agents accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from airline passengers' checked baggage, but this time at JFK. So far, $39,980 has been recovered.
Police say that a man wearing a TSA uniform flashed a badge to a woman in Manassas and then sexually assaulted her. They say that man is 52-year-old TSA employee Harold Rodman.
A TSA agent under arrest charged with lewd and lascivious molestation of a minor. Police say he tried to keep a girl as a sex slave.
Police arrested 57-year-old Charles Bennett after a 15-year-old reported him to police.
TSA worker at Logan Airport arrested, accused of raping a 14-year-old girl, and there is more.
The TSA themselves say it's perfectly fine to videotape their checkpoints.
Really?
This gentleman tells, yes,
really?
On their website.
Sir? I have quoted to my standard operating procedure says specifically there are no photographs permitted to be taken of the screening process.
Could I see it?
No, you cannot.
So there's a secret rule?
No, there isn't a secret rule. I know what it is. I'm the terminal manager. It's my role. First of all, you can't even tape in this building. You have to get permission from Terminal 4 to film in this building, number one. Number two, you can't double time. You can't tape their activities because we don't know who you are. We don't know what you are.
You have my ID. He's run my
And what does that mean? What does that mean, honestly?
I have no
Absolutely,
ID.
exactly. Not a damn thing. So this is a deal.
Then why did he ask for it?
You're going to stop it. You're going to rewind. From where you taping their activities, you're going to stop, and you're going to delete all of that, then you can leave.
I'm not going to delete videotape.
You're not going to delete the videotape?
No, sir.
Are you sure about that? You sure that's what you want to do? You sure that's what you want to do? I'm just asking, are you sure that's what you want to do?
I have no desire to delete videotape because I'm being threatened.
No problem. You're not being threatened, you're going to be arrested. That's not a threat.
There's a dangerous new weapon on the streets. It's scaring police officers across the country. More and more people are carrying it as it becomes cheaper and more available every day. That weapon is the camera.
Turn it off.
I'm not shutting it off, officer.
Or you going to jail.
Get off the motorcycle, state police.
You keep filming me, I'm going to take it from you, understand?
I'm not putting the camera down until you... We're rolling, bud. We're rolling. You hit me.
You can't take pictures on federal property. You need to. That's the law.
Property is being protected.
Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
Turn the camera off.
No, sir.
You want to go to jail?
That off. I don't want that. Get that away from my face. Ready?
I'm not going to shut it off.
You got any ID on you?
I don't.
Turn the camera away.
No, sir. You're a public officer.
Yes, I am.
So I have the right to videotape you.
You can just turn that off.
Why?
Because I asked you to.
There's no law against it.
Just turn it off.
I'll put it down here.
Turn it off.
Sir,
I asked you to turn it off.
I'm not going to turn it off.
Sir,
You're a public officer.
You're a public officer on the public street.
Okay, let's go on down the road then. What's the deal?
Going down the road where?
I just asked you not to do that. Okay? I don't want a picture taken.
Well, sir, public officer.
That's fine. You bet.
Please don't touch our camera.
Now talk to me.
Please don't touch our camera, sir. Please don't do that.
You guys are going to have to cooperate with me.
Well, we're cooperating. There's nothing wrong with filming.
Turn that off.
Sir, we're not going to turn it off. This is not Nazi Germany. This is not Communist Russia. This is United States of America.
Turn that off. Turn it off.
No, sir, it's a public street.
Yeah, he does.
It's a private street, sir. This is a private camera. This is a private camera.
I'm asking you, I do not want to be photographed right now, so turn it off. Sir, you're in a public street. This is a public sidewalk. Turn it off. This is a private camera. You cannot touch this camera. I'm telling you, turn it off. What have I done that is breaking the law?
Is that on audio?
Yeah, it's video. It's audio video.
Is it recording video also?
Yeah. Go on.
And sound?
Yeah, video and
okay,
sound.
You need to hand me your camera.
How come?
You need to hand me your camera.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you can't videotape and record our boys without our permission. And if you're doing it, we're going to arrest you.
I don't want to get arrested.
Well, then turn it off.
You guys need something?
This is my front yard. I'm just recording what you're doing. It's my right.
Actually, not from the sidewalk.
This is my yard.
You're not listening to our orders right now. We don't feel safe with you standing behind us. You're not moving even a foot further back. You're going to be.
Do you want me to move a foot further back?
You're going to be under arrest. I already warned you.
I will move a foot further back. I'm not going to go inside my house. I feel like I need the fresh air right now. I'm going to back up.
You know what? I think you're going to go to jail. That's just not right.
Where's it called? What's going on?
No. Stay right here.
I'm sorry. I'm asking them. I'm observing what they're doing, and they're arresting me. I don't understand what's going on. I did nothing. I'm not doing anything.
It's a debate going on here in the Bay Area and in cities across the country. Should people be allowed to videotape cops on the job? Well, tonight a new court ruling may bring an end to that argument. 10 News reporter Adam Freeman showing us how it gives you the freedom to keep filming.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
It's happened to a college student in Tarpon Springs.
What the Tarpon Springs police did was wrong.
To a homeowner in New York.
You're not listening to our orders right now.
Even a news photographer.
Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. You're under arrest.
All arrested for simply videotaping police on duty. Only problem? It's not illegal. A U.S. Court of Appeals in Boston has now confirmed that with a ruling saying filming cops in a public place is your choice.
No. Put the rock down, man. Put the rock down. Hey. Put the rock down. This is our line. Get out of town. Cops out of town.
Communications, Energy and Paper Workers Union President Dave Coles was confronting these three masked men with rocks and bottles and accusing them of being police officers. You can see from this footage that they were intent on starting a riot. Watch as the gloved hand of one of these provocateurs hits a member of the riot squad in the face mask. Now watch as he changes hands with the rock and then bangs it into a riot shield. These masked men were attempting to violently disrupt an otherwise peaceful protest. They were breaking the law and violating the constitutionally guaranteed rights of the protesters. The whole scene was surreal. I knew Dave Coles had managed to reveal the face of one of the provocateurs, but I didn't have footage of the other two. I changed roles from independent journalist to citizen on patrol and made sure I captured a second face. The action of these three masked men and the reaction of the riot squad was highly suspect, but ultimately it was the matching boots that gave the provocateurs away. That night I posted the footage on YouTube. For the next 4 days it was a national and international news story. The Sûreté de Quebec denied any involvement, but on the fourth day, they finally admitted it was their officers.
As we confirmed yesterday, the three people in question were indeed Sûreté de Quebec police officers performing their duties.
Well, in Montebello, Quebec in 2007, there was 3 police officers who were dressed as aggressive protesters with rocks in their hands, wearing masks, in an attempt to incite violence.
These 3 guys are cops, everybody!
Bring it back up.
By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity. If you remain in this immediate vicinity, you will be in violation of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code. No matter what your purpose is, you You must leave. If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and or subject to other police action. Other police action may include actual physical removal, the use of riot control agents.
By order of the Chief of Police, clear this area or you are subject to arrest.
Kids aren't your enemies. Wall Street bankers are your enemies. Your neighbors aren't your enemies. Wall Street billionaires are your enemies. Wall Street billionaires stole hundreds of millions of dollars from police pension funds. They're the ones who are the criminals. They get away with it, but they wear a suit and tie. We're not your enemies. You're not our enemies. You're our neighbors. It's the system that allows your retirement funds to be stolen from you, which is going to make it harder for your kids to go to college, to make their lives better than yours. The American dream. We're not your enemies, man. I got thousands of dollars in student debt. I didn't get a bailout. How is that fair? Some of your neighbors and friends have been foreclosed on. They didn't get a bailout. How is that fair? I'm just saying, I'm not your enemy. I don't want to do you harm. But I think we need to find our common ground here.